Yo, God, the thing goes pop, pop, tap, tap, tap. Skinny kid pop, pop, and the poop, poop, boom. Skia, boom, 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 boom. Yo, God, the thing goes.
Welcome to Fantasy and Chill Week 12. I'm your quarterback, Ryan Keller, joined by Britt Crawford. Your mic is muted.
What's good? I'm sorry, I forgot I had much to talk on.
Ethan Hargrave.
Gobble, gobble, motherfuckers.
And producer Matt, as always.
Hey there. Isn't it nice that we don't have to talk shit about the Texans this week?
Yeah.
I think we still can.
Yeah.
Isn't it also nice that you can see all four of our faces this week?
Beautiful faces. I even shaved for the occasion. What do you know? Oh, wait. Well, yeah.
You should have left the beard.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's get started with our fantasy studs this week. And our first quarterback is now I forgot to wait.
Come on, man.
There we go. The number one fantasy quarterback now, Russell Wilson, 26 of 42, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also added 7 rushes for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. And with the way that Seattle offensive line is playing, I mean, they look even worse than when the season started. He's definitely going to be putting up the rushing yards. He's going to be running for his life. And do y'all see him just holding on to that number one spot for the rest of the season?
Yes, I believe I called him in my top 5. I don't know if we all called him in our top 5, but I know I did for sure.
I think I put Dak in over him in mine, but it was close.
Yeah, we'll talk about Dak later, I'm sure.
I mean, I think we all believed that he would come on in the second half because that's his MO, right? That's the Seahawks MO, really, is – hey, let's suck for the first 6-8 games, and then we'll just get by, and then we're just gonna get ready for the playoffs and hope to God we hit it and hit our stretch. That's just what they do. But I mean, Russell Wilson. I was just watching some of the game film, and I mean, he was somehow they were running naked bootlegs successfully without a running game. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me. I mean, I guess that's a little. I don't know what else they could do, but they were making it happen. 300, how many yards? 344 yards total. A lot of those came on the ground. Looking fucking good, man. Really.
I think too, though, like Seattle has no run game, and it's all going to be on Russell Wilson's shoulders. So,
well, they had. I liked what I saw to Mike Davis this week.
I did too. And then what happened?
He got hurt.
Exactly. Hey, J.D. McKissick, though, kind of a deeper.
Before he got hurt, Mike Davis was going to be a hot commodity for pickup this week. But what did he hurt his groin, right? He's out for a few weeks, probably.
Yeah, I mean, just like every other Seattle running back.
It's like a running back survivor in Seattle, man.
It really is, man. It's just like after Marshawn Lynch, they just cannot find a guy who stays healthy.
Everybody just gets hurt, man. It's just
like Thomas Rawls has shown flashes too. Like last year, I remember him having like a 20, 25-point game every now and then, but it's not consistent.
Yeah.
And if they thought that Eddie Lacy was going to be any type of guy, like what the fuck were they thinking?
Beast mode.
Eddie Lacy is droppable in every fantasy league. I don't even know why you would have him though.
You can't handle Pete Carroll's load. Can't handle the full load. So
it's going to be interesting next year though.
Why?
I mean, because Chris Carson will be back, and they got all these other guys. I mean, Thomas Rawls. I don't know what if he's going to do this year, but
didn't I see something where Chris Carson might come back before the end of the year?
Yeah, that seems kind of rushed.
Because
what happened to him
his injury
again?
wasn't an ACL. It was just was it a meniscus?
I thought it was like a no.
Those are only like 6 to 8 weeks. So theoretically, he could come back, but. I mean, if he could come back, I'd do it because he's definitely their best runner by far. But I don't know why.
Just time for they'll probably wait till the playoffs if they make it, But they got no defense anymore.
No, yeah, Seattle.
See you later.
It's all Russell Wilson now.
Yeah, I mean, and he definitely.
Hey, and my boy Jimmy Graham, you got to throw him in there.
Hey, yeah, Jimmy
Graham.
They remembered that he's on the team. It looks like. He was actually catching more than one pass and had a couple of really nice grabs in traffic. Got a couple of TDs.
Well, I heard someone say
the dance in zone.
Yeah, he is their goal line running back now.
He's come a long way for that 1 catch for 1 yard performance earlier for you.
Yeah,
it feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah, offense good, defense bad. Russell Wilson good. Let's go.
All right, next stud is a guy that I said should be on your trade target list. He's going to have a big finish to the season, and he started off with a bang. 30 for 45, 299 yards, 4 touchdowns for Big Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, that was classic Big Ben. Get the Steelers offense, get back rolling with that passing game. I mean, do you see them ramping it up the rest of the year like that?
The same shit I was talking about, though. Like, Big Ben has these games where he just goes full retard at Heinz Field. And, like, this next game coming up, Green Bay is going to be at home. Look for the same shit.
And then after that, I think he's got the Texans, right? So
they got a pretty good schedule, and I think a lot of the games are at
Texans
home.
in Week 16.
He's got New England 15, Houston 16. So it's a good if you play 2-week playoffs, it's good.
Yeah, and he's got Green Bay, and then he's got Cincinnati, who he's already put up 17 points again this year. It's at Cincinnati and then Baltimore, so.
Maybe he was just sandbagging all year.
Hey, Juju, is he out this coming week?
He's being monitored.
No, now you can see it.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, he's being monitored right now for a hammy injury, which does not bode well for me. But I hope, just being selfish, I just hope they kind of hold him out this week. I'm already locked for the playoffs. Just rest up, rest well, sweet prince.
I saw your boy Martavis out there a little bit. I don't know if he caught anything, but he was on the field.
That is confirmed. He was on the field.
Thank you. Yep.
I think he had like 3 catches, like 30 yards, some shit.
Britt, do you still have
Martavis? He did
Martavis?
as well as Juju, though, right?
Do you still have Martavis, Britt?
Oh, I fucking dropped him 3 weeks
ago. Whichever one of y'all had him.
No, he gone.
He gone. If Juju doesn't play, do you consider throwing Martavis out there?
That's what I'm saying. He's got to be considered. At home versus Green Bay.
I don't think he's a long-term solution, but yeah, I think he could be a little Band-Aid.
Hey, who has more points rest of the year, Martavis Bryant or Josh Gordon?
Total or the rest
the
of the
Lord
year?
and Savior, Josh Gordon.
The rest of the year.
When is Josh Gordon playing Sunday?
Next week, he is eligible.
I saw he was practicing this week.
Yeah, I think like Hugh Jackson said it was like Christmas having him on the practice field. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, these are some bad dudes.
Because that's the last time they won.
That's like an August day here. All right, let's look at our stud running backs. First guy is Matt, your boy Shady. 13 rushes for 114 yards, 1 touchdown, and then 1 catch for 12 yards and a touchdown. And all of this with his quarterback throwing 5 interceptions. So if he would have had any kind of quarterback play from his starter, this could have been an absolutely huge week. But they went down so big, he only had 13 rushes.
Sad.
Yeah, it's fucking 8 yards a carry, though. This is like vintage Shady right here. Like, how is this guy still doing this?
It was ripping off some monster runs. Dude.
He has that first step, too. That's what's ridiculous. Like, he still just beats these young rookies to the side.
Yeah, I said it, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Like, he's going to be a top 5 running back the rest of the way. And he's starting, proving me right, even with for some reason.
When did you say that, Matt?
Whenever
we said it in our rankings show. He had him in the top 5. Only guy that did.
Because his 2 previous weeks before this were 2.5 and 6, so I was just wondering.
Maybe it was like 5 weeks ago when we did it.
The first 2 weeks after we did our rankings.
When he had 23 and 26?
Yeah. No, it really was, though.
No, I got you.
But can y'all tell me why the Bills are still thinking about playing Peterman next week? I don't understand that.
I heard somebody proposed that they were trying to hide how awful the defense was because the coach is a defensive-minded guy, and they're sucking balls ever since they made that trade for one of their best D linemen.
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
why would you trade Marcel Darius then?
Yeah,
terrible.
Their defense at the beginning of the year was actually pretty good. They had a pretty well balanced defense, and all of a sudden recently they've gone way south. So
well, that's what I was at past the bye week. They gave up 27 points to Tampa Bay, which we know is not that good. 14 to Oakland, 34 to the Jets, 47 to the Saints, and then 42 to the Chargers. Like, ridiculous.
So.
Okay, I'm not going to defend Peterman here, but did y'all see the highlights on 4 of his 5 picks? He was getting absolutely destroyed by Joey Bosa.
Yes. He's just
that offensive line.
Hey, Joey Bosa is a real deal.
He is, but his offensive line was doing him no favors there.
Well, Tyrod came in and seemed to do fine.
Well,
yeah,
there's a little
had a decent fantasy
conspiracy theory going on here. that his offensive line did not support the decision to bench Taylor for Peterman. So they were going to let Peterman just get killed, which they did.
Yeah, they didn't throw the picks, though.
Okay, but if you watch on 4 of them,
he was getting destroyed.
He was halfway to the ground when the ball released.
Still threw the picks. I mean, he threw 5 interceptions.
I have a hard time believing that Richie Incognito is sitting there saying that he's going to let his guy beat him just because he doesn't support the quarterback. I have a hard time believing that.
Knowing what we know about Richie Incognito, wouldn't he support Peterman probably?
Yeah, which makes you think he would be blocking. I'm saying I have a hard time believing that.
It wasn't Peterman though in those. Not Peterman. It wasn't Incognito in those highlights though. It was some other guys.
Well,
I'm just going off what I read on Twitter, man.
I'll let the experts figure out the conspiracy theory.
We need our conspiracy theorist.
Bills D had double digits through the first 5 weeks, and then the past 3 weeks they've had negative points.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Bills D.
One player.
All right, next fantasy stud running back. Becoming a mainstay here, we got Mark Ingram, 11 rushes for 134 yards and a touchdown, and then 3 catches for 21 more yards. And, Kamara was like the number 5. 21. Kamara was like the number 5 running back this week. So, it's just ridiculous what they keep putting up on the ground each week.
Both of them are legit plays every week. They're either one of the others either high end RB1 or just a solid RB1, no matter what. But they're on pace right now to shred up over 3,000 yards from scrimmage, which is actually really incredible. It hasn't been done by a tandem since I think I want to say the 85 Browns team of all teams. But aside from that, Mark Ingram just looks like he's on top of his game. He's making decisive cuts. He's running strong. He's just carrying fools to the goal line. He looks like a man possessed. Browns team.
Sorry about that.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm trying to talk to the chat. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. It says Ola. So I was going to say Ola back, but I'll
What's
just
his name,
do the
man?
voice. Let's try this. Alanaribi 8.
Alanaribi?
Oh, actually, there's no B in there. That's just an 8. Alanaribi.
Alanaribi.
What's up?
So who were talking about? Mark Ingram? Oh, yeah. I
Mark
was going to bring up a question.
Yeah, let's go nuts. What's up?
You might already brought it up, but there was a talk on the Reddits. Is this the best running back duo ever?
Yeah. I just kind of went over that. I think it was like the 85 Browns that had some kind of a comparable duo. And actually, I think they only had like 1,400 yards from scrimmage. This tandem is actually going for 3K, which
what are they at right now?
I couldn't tell you. It was either total yards or rushing yards, but I have to check my sources.
Yeah, I think that was rushing. Check the Reddits.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
But what's interesting about this is you have Ingram on the fantasy studs, and he played great, but he was actually out-snapped by Kamara by almost 20 snaps, which is kind of crazy.
Well, they
were having to play from behind the.
Yeah, they were down.
What's that word? There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, you gotta ask Britt.
Everybody drink. All right.
Hey.
Game script.
Hey, here's a tandem for you: Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen. I'll take that one.
Well, we might be.
Best running back
tandems. You've never seen them play in your life.
Bo Jackson.
I can watch him on YouTube.
Marcus Allen.
Yeah, for the Raiders. That's pretty sick, though.
Yeah, I mean they ran a nice pro set back then. But
Matt, just think you almost traded Kamara for Jay Ajayi.
Ooh.
I didn't almost do that. I was never accepting that trade.
Nah, he almost did it. I'll vouch for you, Ryan.
Could you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine the people out there that are stacking Kamara and Ingram right now? Because if you got Kamara and Ingram and you're not stacking that shit, then you're just fucking stupid.
Can you imagine the people that had Kamara and then drafted him dropped him like week 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it was me.
You stupid.
Kamara's the only reason why my team's even still afloat right now with all the injuries and suspensions.
Yeah. We miss you,
Huh.
Zeke.
Miss you, Zeke.
So when is Kamara going to go in next year's draft? That's what I'm wondering. So we saying like second round, solid,
Second rounder.
solid, not first round.
I don't
It's
think.
good. I'm me and my buddy at work, Michael. We determined that next year's draft is going to go running backs the first 10 picks.
No,
Yeah.
somebody will
There will
fucking.
not be a wide receiver in the first 10 picks.
Somebody in
Antonio
our draft
Brown.
will draft Deshaun Watson first round.
And that's what I said too. That's what I said. I did say that. So
Antonio
Some
Brown's
reason.
going to go first round.
I think
you
my exact
taking,
words were some retard will draft Deshaun Watson.
What are you going to take, Ingram or Kamara first next year?
I think
That's
Kamara,
a tough one.
just because, dude, this dude, he's game script proof. I'm sorry.
Drink.
I'll
Game
take it.
shit.
there it is.
proof.
Oh, y'all are actually playing a game?
Yeah, man, I'm going to be drunk by the end of this. How many times you say that damn word?
It's such a knowledgeable football word. Sorry.
Is it, Britt?
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
All right, can we go on to wide receivers now?
Did we have? Oh yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Matt, we had a certain thing happen this week for Antonio Brown.
The nut button.
There it is. The nut button. Antonio Brown, 10 catches for 144 yards and three touchdowns.
The hat trick.
Caller back player.
One of them was a dirty one-handed catch against his helmet.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Went full.
I think
retard.
I've gone against the number one wide receiver like 4 weeks in a row. Turpin had the top 2 wide receivers against me last week. Now I get to play Antonio Brown. What is this shit?
Speaking of full retard, yeah, Turpin
That was it?
averaged about 60 points his first 5 weeks, and he's put up like 130 the past 2 weeks.
If he wins, he's in the playoffs.
Yep, I just need Matt Mayo to lose.
Mayo.
But anyways,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, Steelers passing game going forward. Is Antonio Brown the number one wide receiver the rest of the way?
I think he's been the number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Hopkins, but once Watson went down, you know,
Okay, but he still scored a touchdown every week.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Eventually, defenses will catch on. Hey,
Yeah.
Well, they
defend
should
number
already come on 'cause
10.
we literally have one playmaker out there.
We should stop number
Hey,
10.
Foreman was going off, but he's hurt.
He's dead.
He did.
Later. Who knows if he'll even come back the same. Hey,
Yeah.
Well, they
defend
should
number
already come
10.
on.
Sorry about that again.
Jesus, Matt.
I'm trying to talk to the Periscope. You know, we got a bunch of people in here. Now we got E-Man, Lena. E-Man, Lena talking.
What's up?
So, what's up?
Good to have you.
All right,
No,
second
but-
stud wide
well, no,
receiver, Matt.
can-
Wait,
Actually,
just
can we talk about the Steelers a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and no one was saying anything, so I was moving on.
Oh no, well, I'm going back to them now.
Okay.
Now
to say?
you're a Le'Veon Bell owner. Are you a little worried that the quarterback and wide receivers are going off?
Am I worried that the number one running back in the league is still on my team? No, I'm not worried.
He's not the number one running back. He's number 4. But yeah, I'm not worried if I'm Le'Veon Bell.
Number
He
one,
hasn't-
for real though.
He hasn't scored in a while.
He's still
I
putting
mean,
up
he's still
double-digit
averaging
points
15
every week.
points a game. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
his
he's
floor is
still
so
stud.
good right now. Nah.
I
Hey,
mean,
Garen-
without Zeke in there, I'm not putting Kareem Hunt or Todd Gurley above Le'Veon Bell right now, even though they've outscored him.
Kareem Hunt is ass, my dude.
Kareem
He's not,
Hunt,
no,
not in the
no,
top
no.
5. But he does have some tasty matchups.
Hey,
coming up.
Yes.
guarantee you, Le'Veon Bell in the next 3 weeks has a 3-touchdown game.
All right, Matt,
Ooh.
write it down.
Put it on
Matt,
the board.
Write that shit down.
I'll put it on the board. 1 second.
Bong rip bets.
No, it's not a bong rip bet. Fuck that. I got to wait for Matt to come back for the second wide receiver because this is his boy. So Matt is putting the bet on the board.
Sorry, I can do that later. But sure, go ahead.
Okay, second wide receiver. He was on Matt's bench this week. Keenan Allen, 12 catches for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. Matt, will you ever leave him on your bench again?
Is that why you wanted me to come back just so you could call me out like that?
Yep.
There was good reasons why he was on my bench. Okay.
Let's hear him.
Well, there's actually just one good reason. Phillip Rivers was in concussion protocol going into towards the end of the week, and I had Juju playing on Thursday, so I had to make a decision at that point. Was I going to play Juju, or was I going to bank on Phillip Rivers playing? Yeah, I made the wrong bet.
You chose wrong.
But I still won my matchup, so. But he will. Keenan Allen will be playing this week for my team.
I see you, Morgan.
Yeah, we see you, Morgan.
Can't hide from
The
us.
vape smoke will block her.
Smoke screen.
Oh Lord.
Ethan or Britt, any thoughts on Keenan Allen?
Yes,
I
I told Matt to start him. Like, Keenan Allen's a stud. Like, I like Juju and all, but he had 2 good weeks in a row. I'm not saying that I would have done it. I'm just saying you should have done it.
You should have done it, Matt. You
told me to start
2 weeks ago.
You told me to start Allen after Juju already played. So don't act like you made the decision. Once you saw Juju put up 4 points, yeah, of course you're going to say start Keenan Allen.
Hey, Keenan Allen's put up less than 4 this year.
Exactly my point.
Keenan Allen's almost a top 10 wide receiver after that game. That was finally the game you were waiting for, though. Like, he had 1 touchdown all year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting the rest of the year because I saw his schedule. I was a little worried about the Bills.
3 points this week, so.
I traded him a few weeks back.
Who'd you get for him?
So, I mean, good job. I just there's something about Phillip Rivers this year that just kind of scares me. I don't know what it is. But
who'd you get for Keenan Allen?
I can't even remember. It was one of my throwaway leagues.
That means no one good.
No one good.
He knows exactly. Who
exactly. Yeah. I got I traded Adrian Peterson for him. So it's looking good for that trade right now.
Yeah, Peterson was bottled up on Sunday. Didn't look very good out there.
Yeah.
That Texans D can still stop the run. They can't stop the pass.
It's about all they can do.
Stop the run.
Make no mistake, they actually have good linebackers, and they actually have some good pass rushing there, or run defense. They have all these high-dollar cornerbacks. They got no safeties. Who's their fucking safety? We gave away Bouye, which was fucking stupid, so we could re-up Jay Proche, the fucking $10 million fullback, being put to good use. Came in to sign our left tackle for any, don't get me started on Rick Smith. Congratulations, you found a fucking nut, you blind squirrel, with Deshaun Watson. Good job. The rest of our team is fucking garbage. Thank you.
Yeah, so Keenan Allen starting him every week.
Nice segue.
And to think I thought we could go a whole show without talking about how bad the Texans were.
We can't.
They won this week. Come on.
Yeah, they actually won this week, and we're still just talking shit about them.
Still salty.
Well, it's going to be okay, Ethan. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's good to talk about things. Get it out.
All right, let's go to I know for us, we play 12-week regular season, so this is our last week of the regular season, and then we have playoffs coming up. So as far as our playoff chances, I am pretty much in no matter what. If Matt wins, he is in. If Britt wins, he is in. If Britt loses and Matt loses, Britt is in. So it's looking pretty good for all 3 of us, I'd say.
I'm going to eat that W.
Britt, you got to play Keegan. Could be a tough matchup.
Could be. I just need Matt to lose, and then I'll feel a lot better.
If Matt loses, then the playoffs are already set.
Yep.
So thinking on that, I wrote down some players for each of our teams that are kind of a question mark moving forward, who really need to step up the rest of the way to kind of carry us through the playoffs. Because, like, for example, my team, I know Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley and DeAndre Hopkins are going to show up every week and put up their points. But a guy that I wrote down that's been pissing me off lately is Leonard Fournette. So I just not really sure what I'm going to get from him each week. He's got the ankle injury. He said this week that he's not going to be 100% at all the rest of the season. So that kind of worries me. But he still put up he had like 120 yards or so this week on the bum ankle. And what do y'all think about Fournette the rest of the way? Should I be worried?
I think you should be a little worried just because he did come out and say, yeah, I'm a little nicked up. My ankles still causing me problems. But don't worry. This is his words, basically. Don't worry. I've dealt with this before in college. I know how to run on it. But to me, that's just saying, hey, he's going at 75% versus 100%. But his 75% is better than, what are their other options?
Most people's 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd be a little worried, but I wouldn't be so worried as to completely panic. I think he's still got a good floor. I just don't think you're going to get the 33-point, 40-point nuclear bombs dropped on your opponents with him. That's all.
Yeah, he hasn't scored a touchdown in a while. He started off, I think he scored the first 6 or 7 games. He had a touchdown, and that's fallen off as of late.
Yeah, he hasn't scored the past 2 weeks. And then, he missed a team picture and had an injury.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about everything else on my team. Now, I'm still streaming tight ends and defenses, so that's just going to be who knows every week. But as far as my two wide receivers, my top 2 running backs, and my quarterback now after my Drew Brees trade, I feel pretty good. So if Leonard Fournette can just step up, average about 12 to 15 points a week, I got it in the bag.
I mean, you got Le'Veon that's not scoring touchdowns. Now you got Fournette that's not scoring touchdowns.
I'm not worried about Le'Veon.
They're saving up touchdowns, right?
Saving up for the playoffs? Is that how you do it?
Saving up for the playoffs.
It's not a bad strategy then.
All right, next guy on my list, Ethan, this is your player, Kareem Hunt. He has disappeared I think I saw his point totals the last 3 weeks were like 7, 6, and 6. A far cry from those 40, 30, 28 points he was putting up beginning of the season. So what's the deal with Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've gotten away from – Kansas City's gotten away from running the ball first because they were actually running the ball with a little bit more I guess urgency might be a good word for it. They were trying to establish the running game a lot more. And I get, for whatever reason, it seems like they've switched back to being a pass-first offense. It's kind of disheartening a little bit because this is one of my little offshoot leagues, really. But I could have made a trade for somebody else, but I felt like he would start coming around. His schedule does look like it's going to get a little bit better moving forward. I think they've got the playoff schedule includes a lot of defenses that are, I think, the top 10 worst run defenses. So, and I think that I just have a feeling they're going to come out, establish a run, establish a play action. They're going to get them more involved. So I'm not super worried. I just need the ball out, So.
Yeah, and I mean, Kareem Hunt, they're playing Buffalo this week at home. It's a 31st ranked fantasy defense versus running backs. They've given up, 9 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks rushing. So Kareem Hunt will bounce back this week. Don't worry about him.
Does anybody have those snap counts from the Chiefs this past week?
I do not. But I wouldn't put too much.
Well, when I was watching the game, I noticed that Charkandrick West was on the field a lot, and I just wanted to see what their snap counts looked like for this week.
Yeah, but if you have Hunt, you need to make sure you have Charkandrick West on your bench as a handcuff.
They did.
I'm wondering what the Chiefs are doing by having Charkandrick West out there so much.
Gabe script.
Oh, there it is.
I don't even think that it's really game script though. There must have been something else going on there.
But Kareem Hunt's schedule, he's got the Buffalo D 31st ranked, Jets are 13th, Oakland is 26th, Chargers are 29th, and Miami's 19th. That is juicy. That is set up for him to go off in these next 4 weeks.
The Giants actually, when they try, they actually have a decent defense.
I heard there were winds of like 25 miles per hour that game too. Like, I think that was just a fucked up game.
Yeah, I think it was just a weird game with the wind and everything. But still, you'd think with the wind they'd be running it a lot more.
Yeah, he got 18 carries. So I mean, that's not
pretty good for him.
That's not bad. But the week before that against Dallas, he only had 9. And that's what kind of scares me.
I was talking to my brother, and he said, like, because he lives in Kansas City now, he said some guy he works with put like over $1,000 on Kansas City to win that game.
Oh,
damn.
Man. Some balls right there, brother.
No, I was looking at Hunt's, touchdowns and points, and he hasn't scored a touchdown or gotten over 15 points since week 3. So I think is the hype from week 1 and 2 and 3 still just carrying over? Like, is he just like a running back 2 now?
I mean, even week 4 and week 5, he had over 100 yards rushing. Like, I don't know. It's just they played some pretty tough teams, I guess. Like, even versus Oakland, a weak team, he had 12 points. But I think these last 5 games, we're going to find out.
I definitely think he's very talented. I think
Trending up right now. Like, he will go up.
I think he's talented enough to where he's going to, he can do it, but.
I pulled up the snap count for you, Ryan, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but it's showing Charkandrick West played 20 snaps while Kareem Hunt played 50. So maybe it's just what we saw. It was Charkandrick West.
Maybe I just kept looking up at the wrong times.
Yeah, I think that's might have been one.
I mean, Kareem Hunt is still the second-ranked running back. Like, let's not get.
Yeah, but he had a 40-something point game and a 30-something point game, and
look, I'm just saying, still a stud.
Yeah, I mean. Let's see what happens.
Is he a stud now? I think we had a question a few weeks ago. Matt asked this: would we rather have Kareem Hunt or Kamara the rest of the way? And all of us besides Matt said Kareem Hunt, but I think it's clearly Kamara now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said Kamara coming out of the bye. Really, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, Twitter agreed. They I think they had 75% Kamara.
I just can't see taking him when Mark Ingram is still better than Kamara. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of tough.
I mean,
but is he
better?
Kareem Hunt next year is a top 5 fantasy pick. There's going to be Zeke. There's going to be Le'Veon Bell. Maybe David Johnson. Maybe Todd Gurley. And then after that, maybe Fournette. I don't know. Yeah, but then who else are you taking over Hunt? Melvin Gordon?
Shady.
No. Shady?
Antonio
No.
Brown?
No,
DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray. Let me scroll
Mark
down
Ingram,
and find him.
Dalvin Cook will be back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not taking him over Kareem Hunt.
I don't know. Hunt's looked like
You're
shit.
high.
No, you're high. We saw that.
No, what?
What? All right, next
Colorado.
guy. Why are you wearing an Astros hat?
Because I'm a bandwagoner and they won the World Series.
No, at least you admit it.
That does make sense, yeah.
I knew Matt would chime in.
All right, Ethan, the other guy I wrote down for you, I think he's on your big money team at work.
Yeah.
So Doug Martin, he is a
Ooh.
make or break guy the rest of the season. Do we know at all what we're getting from him the rest of the way?
I think a lot of it. See, I'm in a really bad spot right now, like really bad with running backs. I do have Kamara in there. He's keeping the ship afloat. But other than that, I just had Chris Thompson go out. Big blow, especially since I just lost a Cowboy running back that I won't mention.
Darren McFadden, man, me too.
Yeah, okay.
Healthy scratch? What the hell?
Like, things are looking bad, okay? So I really need Dougie to step up, and I invested a little bit of draft capital in him. I probably took him a little bit earlier than I probably could have got away with. I think I took him in the 7th round, 6th or 7th round, and it's just not panning out. And it sucks because when he gets a hole, he can show you what he can do, right? Like he's got the burst, he's got the vision, but it just seems like 9 times out of 10 when he gets the ball, as soon as he's getting the ball, he's getting lit up in the backfield for 4-yard loss. Like the offensive line is just garbo. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're not using him in anything other than first and second down. They're not getting him involved in the passing game. They actually did get him involved in the passing game on a nice little screen, went for 40 yards, and then came back on a fucking flag.
Well, doesn't it have to do with Jameis not being out there either?
Dude, they got the hard knocks curse, man. The Rams had it last year. Watch, Tampa Bay's gonna be good next year.
Texans made the playoffs after hard knocks.
Tampa Bay was supposed to be good this year.
They ain't making it this year.
I really need Dougie to step up, and I just don't. Really, I have no other options right now. It has to happen.
I mean, he's got Atlanta this week, but then he goes at Green Bay, 22nd ranked run defense, and then Detroit, 27th. So if he doesn't do it in those 2 weeks,
okay, let me tell you how bad it is. I'm debating on whether or not putting J.D. McKissick in there for him. Like, it's that bad. My options are completely dried up.
He's about the last one standing in Seattle, so.
I mean, I guess things could be worse, but, you know, maybe I should say a little Dougie prayer.
Oh, you want to do
Thomas
a little Dougie
Rawls
prayer?
is a healthy scratch, right?
Little Dougie prayer.
Let's get a little Dougie prayer going.
If you don't mind, if you guys could bow your heads.
No, old Doug needs patty mayonnaise.
Our Father, who art a hamster, Dougie be thy name. Thy touchdowns come, suspension done, on turf. Time to put up 37. Give us 38, our daily bread. And lead us not into consolation, but deliver us the trophy. For thine is the rushing, the receiving, and the touchdowns. Forever and ever. Josh Gordon.
What?
He's going to do it this week. I believe.
Said. Well said. Lead us not into consolation. That was pretty good.
What do you think coming through every week? That's fine. We'll let you have it.
We're just going to have a segment where you get to read something with music playing in the background every week.
Well, I was going to ask you, it might be a little easier question now, but would you rather have him or P. Ryan?
Right now, P. Ryan.
That's.
I mean, It really sucks because I had Chris Thompson. Everything was looking good. Gets a touchdown early. I'm like, yeah, all right. We're going to be okay. Hey, we're going to be okay. We got a shot. And then he just gets blown out by Kirk Cousins. Why, Kirk? Why?
Is P. Ryan available, Ethan?
Negative. He got picked up by my nemesis, who is laughing all the way to a second championship in a row.
Who is it?
One Scott Coy.
Your nemesis.
Well, we've met each other more than once in the championship, and I've got one. He got one. And he's just like, his team is healthy and it's loaded. It's going to be a long shot. I mean, I just kind of signed off on this season right now. I'm in the big money league, but you know, that's fantasy, right?
Yep,
that's fantasy.
That's fantasy for you.
You gotta be a little bit of a masochist to play fantasy. You know, like, seriously.
All right, Matt. Let's get into your two receivers that are both kind of up and down all season. We got Dez Bryant. So let's talk about Dez Bryant first. You just traded Isaiah Crowell for him. Somehow that's the trade that was agreed to. So Dez Bryant for Isaiah Crowell, but Dez Bryant has not been the Dez Bryant we're used to seeing this year. So how do you feel about him going forward, maybe going into the playoffs for you?
I'm not really that worried. He has a solid 4. I mean, Dak's been, I think this past week he had 14 targets. Like, you're not sitting a guy that's getting 14 targets, and he had 8 receptions. The only thing you're worried about is his yardage, which he had 63. But I think that's just
he doesn't stretch the field anymore. It's just a little first down possession receiver, and you better hope he gets a touchdown.
Well, I think that's because they just don't have any time right now. They're getting demolished at the line. Yeah. And they have they should have their Pro Bowl lineman come. Yeah, forgot the position there, but yeah, they should have him coming back. Yeah, I know his name. I just forgot the position. He should be coming back this week or so, he says. So that should bolster it a little bit, and hopefully he gets a little bit more yardages out of that. And he's getting the red zone targets too. They're just not. It's going to click at some point, and I'm starting him. I sat Keenan Allen last week. He went off, so I can't sit Dez and have him go off too.
Speaking of Keenan Allen, your other receiver, and same kind of deal. He's been up and down this season. Just had his best week of the season. So you're going to be rolling to the playoffs if you make it with Dez Bryant and Keenan Allen. I mean, that's not super reliable, but both could go off for over 20 at any time, I'd say.
Yeah, and he's, I mean, It's almost the exact same position Des Bryant's in without the, shitty line. He's getting a lot of targets, getting a lot of red zone targets, got an easy schedule coming up. So I'm just not worried about either one of them, really. They both have solid floors, starting them both.
Yeah, I'm looking for some points on this Thanksgiving Day game. They'll be on short rest, so hopefully both of these offenses can just go off.
I heard. See, the one thing about Dez, it kind of worries me a little bit. I think it's been over 17 games, counting back to last season, that he's had a 100-yard game. Which, you could say, okay, well, the touchdowns are right there, but he's getting 100 yards every day or every week. But maybe it's just
he's just not that receiver anymore. He's that.
No. Yeah, he's a wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 3, basically.
He's running 8 to 10 yards. He's stopping and he's catching the ball.
he's
Ted Ginn has scored more points than Des Bryant.
His big point games are going to be if he gets 2 or 3 just short little touchdowns.
He's kind of like a Keyshawn Martin now at this point in his career.
What?
Keyshawn Martin?
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, like a possession receiver, like he was more like Jerry Rice at the beginning, a little bit more of a high impact. He's just not a high impact guy to me anymore.
Hey, would you rather have rest of the season, Amari Cooper or Des Bryant?
I'm taking Dez.
I'm probably going to take Des
Amari
too.
Cooper has the higher ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amari Cooper
Also
has,
the lower floor, though.
Yeah, man.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think that it's just safer to take the floor. Really.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
why I'm
you gotta
taking
make some-
Dez.
You gotta play some risk if you want to win in fantasy.
Put me down as a Cooper fan the rest of the year, though. I like him.
Oh, Cooper Cup.
Not that one.
Jinx.
Although we will talk about him a little bit later. But Britt, let's go. What? Britt, let's go to you. Guy that you're going to be leaning on to carry you into the playoffs, your trade acquisition, quarterback Dak Prescott, who scored a total of negative 1.6 points this week.
And I actually scored 100 points this week thanks to the Jags D. So, look, he's my ride or die. They're going at the Chargers, like I said, this Thanksgiving Day at Cowboy Stadium, and they have Washington after that. So I'm looking for Dak to bounce back, and Tyron Smith is coming back. So
Ride or die.
their run game has been there, though. Like, that's what's kind of crazy. Like, Alfred Morris had a pretty decent day. It's just Dak is just not having the time to throw the ball, I think.
It looks like he's spending half the game on his back, which is not good for any quarterback.
No.
So, I mean, I think it's all a stat where since their stud left tackle's been out, the past 2 games he's been sacked like 12 times. And in 10 games, counting back to last year, he'd only been sacked like twice or something like that from that position. It's just it's silly.
I saw he threw an interception on a play-action play for the first time ever this Sunday.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid on play action. But look, he's got the Chargers. He's got Washington, the 27th ranked pass defense. The Giants are 30th. Oakland's 28th, and then Seattle's 10th. That's his next 4 weeks after the Chargers. So,
Are you picking up another quarterback for insurance?
possibly Tyrod Taylor. I don't really know if he's going to start over Peterman. I don't know that.
Hey, what about old Case Keenum, brother?
Not a bad option.
So I posted something on Instagram. Would you rather have Rivers or Dak rest of the season?
Rivers has that cake schedule.
He does, but Rivers' highest points this year has been 21.
But he didn't put up -1 last week.
No, he didn't. He's
just
put up 3 before, though.
You just have to imagine that things are going to normalize in Dallas, and it's going to be a non-issue.
Well,
You know, there's a silver lining here is that Dak played better than Peterman.
Oh, true. Well, yeah. If we're looking for something positive, yeah.
What were the results of that poll, Matt?
Which poll? The Rivers? It wasn't a poll. It was I just more asked the question to see how people responded, but people don't like Dak apparently. Could just be Cowboys haters though.
Could be racist.
I understand the Cowboy hater part.
All right. Any other guys on any of our teams that we're looking for to kind of show us something, get us through those playoffs? Anybody else? Matt, are you ever going to start T.Y. Hilton again?
I don't want to, so probably not.
Okay.
I want the solid floors with my wide receivers now. I'm tired of getting the 30 or 2 points. It's tough. 30 is nice, but when you only get it, every 4 games, they're hard to predict. Unless you're Tyreek Hill when you go off every other week and then you don't do anything the next week.
Did that pattern hold steady this week?
The pattern did hold steady.
I mean, at least he's consistent, right? I mean, what weeks to play him, what weeks to sit him.
Hey, how many points did Jay Ajayi have? Because I know I said last week he'd be a top 12 running back going forward.
I think he had like 9.
It's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I think Garrett Blunt might have outscored him. Or got
close.
Corey Clement outscored him. I know that.
Or was it Barner? I mean, shit. They just give the ball to everybody.
And you get a touchdown. And you get a touchdown.
Yeah, that's the problem with that backfield.
At least they're productive. It isn't like the dumpster fire that has been the Seattle backfield.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got 4 or 5 random dudes back there that you never really heard of getting the ball each week.
Though. Like Nelson Aguilar was going off earlier this year. Now with Alshon Jeffrey and like Zach Ertz, like they have so many weapons.
Yeah, they're good, man.
Both teams use 4 different running backs. Very different results.
And they lost Darren Sproles too.
Oh, shit. All right, let's go ahead to Week 12. Big game this week, I think, we got the Thanksgiving games, which they're not very exciting games jumping off paper, but usually Thanksgiving, I think someone usually goes off big in fantasy every single Thanksgiving, so somebody will put up the numbers this week. But big game this week on Sunday is Saints at the Rams. The 2 high-powered offenses. Rams are down Robert Woods, their number 1 receiver. So you'll see some Cooper Kupp, Sammy Watkins, maybe some Tavon Austin and Pharaoh Cooper, a lot of Todd Gurley. And Saints are just going to keep pounding it with Ingram and Kamara.
Yeah.
How do you see that game playing out?
I think this is going to be it's going to be a shellacking. Really, this is in New Orleans, correct?
No, it's at LA.
At LA.
Okay. All right. I take that back. I think it might be more of an evenly matched game, but I think that really hurts them not having Robert Woods because I believe he was becoming a focal point. He actually had 80 yards before he had to leave the game against the Vikings, which is unfortunate for not only the Rams but for me. A little salty still. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of just pound it. The Saints are running offense. They're just an offensive juggernaut on the ground. Who can stop them? Really, who has stopped them?
And the Rams have been known to have a good defense, but their run defense is not very good this year.
Yeah, they're a little suspect. They're more like a pin your ears back. It's a son of bum defense. If we got a lead, we're pinning our ears back and we're going after you, and that's going to hurt them if they do that against the Saints. So I can see this playing out, being somewhere around the 45 total points, something like that. Plus minus, or on the plus side of that, just barely, but not too much. I don't think this is going to be super crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking for a little closer of a game. I think the Rams will keep this a little more competitive than Minnesota. I don't know. I think they're going to bounce back from that game.
I mean, they didn't look very good against the Vikings at all.
Not at all. But I think at home, hopefully they'll play a little better. And the Saints got to travel, so. But Saints have showed they can travel when they put that ass whooping on the Bills.
If you got a run game, you can do anything. Like you can play anywhere. You really can. I think the time of possession, whoever has time of possession in that, because I think Lattimore got hurt for New Orleans, which is a big deal because their defense was really coming around, and they also lost one of their stud defensive linemen.
Yeah, they lost what's his name?
Okafor.
Yeah, Alex
which
Okafor.
Is really sad because this defense. I mean, finally, Drew Brees has a legit defense, and they were. I think that's what allowed them to run the ball a lot.
That's what they had when they won the Super Bowl. They had that shutdown, turnover-heavy defense.
Yeah, I mean, they came around towards the end, but
they led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, but I mean, this season it seemed like they had a really well-balanced defense, and they could. I mean, you got Drew Brees, you got offensive weapons. This seem like I think they can still make a good run. It's just, man, I feel bad for their defense a little bit.
I mean, the Rams revolve around Todd Gurley. Like their last loss, when that's Seattle, he had 14 carries, 43 yards, and then this past game, Minnesota, 15 carries, 37 yards. He did save fantasy by getting the touchdown, but Rams move with Gurley.
All right, before we get into our waiver wire, let's go through. Got a few toss-ups. So quarterback toss-up this week: Phillip Rivers. What was that?
Some Tupac.
I couldn't hear it because I was talking. But
Yeah, I just
word.
Then shut up, Ryan.
Yeah. Okay, quarterback toss-up: Phillip Rivers on Thanksgiving at the Cowboys, or Big Ben at home versus Green Bay Packers.
Give me that Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben, 100%.
100%, no questions, hands down. Next.
I think a better toss-up would have been Phillip Rivers or Dak
I don't know.
Prescott, head-to-head.
Why are you trying to speak for me over here?
Oh, my bad. Go
I
ahead,
don't think it's as a open and shut case like y'all think it is. I mean,
Shut
I
dry.
think I
don't?
wanted to say there.
I was wondering where you were going.
No, I'm going Rivers though. I think for two reasons. I think the Dallas Los Angeles game is going to be a pretty high scoring, and I also think that Le'Veon Bell is going to be the feature in that Pittsburgh game. He's due for a big game at some point, and Green Bay is looking pretty awful. They just got shut up by the Ravens, so it's not like they're going to need to be throwing the ball everywhere. And I just think Le'Veon's going to run all over him. They don't have a good run defense.
I get this feeling.
Sorry. The Texans claimed Andre Ellington off of waivers?
Yeah.
Oh, joy.
We'll get to that.
Hey. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
I got this feeling that the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got a feeling. The Pittsburgh Steelers are getting geared up for the playoffs, and I think they're going to do the old Patriots deal where they're just going to run it up on anybody who they can. They're tuning up for the playoffs. I can see them just straight up just blowing out the pack.
No, I can also see that, but I don't think they need to throw the ball to do that. Like, Packers are awful without Rodgers.
They don't need to, but I think, this is like a slump buster. I mean, he had a slump buster against the Titans, but I think, he got him a good one. He's going to go get him another one. You know what I mean? Like, it's coming.
I agree it's a slump buster.
I'm gonna
for Le'Veon.
A bada bing, a bada boom.
I'm going to bet you some money right here.
All right.
Oh, we got a bet. What's it?
I mean, we can bet hamburgers. I don't care. How about a
You know I'm 0-2 in bets, right?
Hey, that's because you haven't bet me yet.
Now you got to make a parlay, man.
Oh, so you say I'm going to win now? I'm 0-2 right now.
Are we just
I thought you were 2-0.
Straight points, Phillip Rivers versus Big Ben?
Straight. Let's just go straight points, straight fantasy points. Big Ben over Phillip Rivers for number 2 at Whataburger.
Brian, you want to join in on this?
It's pretty close for me. I think I'll lean Big Ben.
Oh, I thought you were on my side there for a second.
The over-under in the Chargers-Cowboys game is 48.
What about Steelers-Packers?
Give me 1 second.
I did do some research on Thursday games, and this is a little different because it's Thanksgiving, but the average is 48 points scored on Thursday night games, which is kind of weird.
41. The Packers are minus 14 favorites. Minus 1,200 is the money line.
Steelers are minus 14.
I'm sorry.
14 points, that's a lot.
Yeah, in the NFL, that's ridiculous.
Actually, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to Phillip Rivers.
There you go, Ryan.
All right.
Hey, Vegas knows, man.
I'll take 2 hamburgers.
The Packers' leading rusher is arrested, though, right now, I believe.
Are we going to get a 4-way bet going?
You want in on this?
On what? What are we talking about? Phillip Rivers and who?
Benjamin.
I'm taking Big Ben all day.
Exactly.
Hell, we can just turn this into a double date.
Yeah. Whoever loses has to buy the other couple a little burger.
And you get to suck my dick. So.
Whoa.
Well then, that changes.
That changes things.
I don't know if I believe in Rivers that much. Okay. Nothing
Okay, we
worth
can stick
sucking
with the
dick
burgers.
over.
We can stick with the burgers.
Okay,
We'll
just
stick with the
burgers.
burgers. Me and Matt got Rivers. You and Britt got Big Ben.
All right, I'll take it. Let's go. Next
Sounds
one.
good.
All right, next one, running back toss-up. We got teammates here, running back teammates. Jarek McKinnon. I almost did it again. Jarek McKinnon
McKinnon.
at
Jarek.
Detroit or Latavius Murray at
McKinnon.
Detroit. So McKinnon has been the guy, but these last 2 weeks, Latavius Murray has outscored him.
So is McKinnon the guy?
I'm saying he has been
Asiata
the guy.
2.0.
Latavius Murray's look good.
I think
Actually,
yeah. He's Asiata on steroid. Like they're both getting 15 touches a game. It's just who's going to do more with those 15
Latavius
touches.
Murray's getting the goal line work.
He is getting the goal line work.
I think McKinnon got a couple of looks too, but he just wouldn't. It just wouldn't happen.
Hey, this
He's
last
just not
time
good.
Minnesota played Detroit, I think that's when Dalvin Cook got hurt.
Rip.
It was.
Yeah, this one's at Detroit too, so I don't know. I think the game script is going to be in favor of Jarek McKinnon.
That's a drink.
Yeah, I got that. Matt, where you at? Okay. Ethan, where's your water?
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
I mean, it could go. Man, 27th ranked run defense the Lions are versus.
Give me Latavius Murray here.
I think I'm leaning towards Murray as well. I'm going to go Murray.
Yeah, I feel better about Murray now than I ever did.
Things have been
before.
trending his way big time.
Matt, you got all these written down?
He looks healthy. He looks healthy.
Yeah, we can check the VOD. I wrote down, though, for myself that I would take Murray in standard and McKinnon in PPR.
Okay,
It's
that's
crazy
fair.
how even their touches are, though. Like, they're both getting double-digit touches every single week.
No, yeah, it's definitely a timeshare split
Just
just
getting
between them two.
touchdowns.
Yeah, well, Murray's getting the. Murray is more likely to get the touchdown, but McKinnon will get maybe 5 to 6 receptions, which, if you're playing a full point PPR, it's going to equal that touchdown anyway. So that's how even it kind of is.
Well, there
I
you
feel
go.
like Latavius Murray is just a better Matt Asiata.
What?
Much
he's,
better.
He's completely different than Matt Asiata. Matt
I know,
Asiata was not a guy that you're going to give the ball to a lot.
Well, no, but he would get the touchdowns.
Latavius Murray was the feature back in Oakland. He actually had a pretty decent season last year.
Yeah.
He
I
did,
said-
but, I mean, Dalvin Cook was outplaying him.
What?
What?
I mean, he didn't even get the
Because
starting
Dalvin
job.
Cook's better.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean,
Yeah, Latavius
Matt
Murray's not a
Asiata
world
couldn't win
beater.
the starting job either.
Matt
Maybe
Asiata
Asiata-
3 years ago.
He would get 5 carries for 3 touchdowns.
Okay, Matt Asiata is the poor man's Latavius Murray. Is that all right?
No, they're not even comparable. Matt Asiata is like a Mike Tolbert.
Hmm.
Hey, you know who Mike Tolbert is? It's the handcuff for
He's the
Sean
handcuff.
McCoy.
Yes, exactly. And Nathan Peterman is the
Idiot.
handcuff to Tyrod
Idiot.
Taylor.
Next.
Let's go.
All right, wide receiver toss-up. Once again, we got a teammate matchup here. They both almost scored the exact same points last week. We got Josh Dotson versus the Giants or Jamison Crowder versus the Giants. Who do you like better?
I'm going to just go ahead and say total push. I mean, pick one. Flip a coin.
This one's pretty
That's what I'm
close.
asking you to do. I'm asking you to pick one.
I'm asking you to let me push on this because they're one and the same pretty much. Who's healthier?
That's racist.
I mean, Doxson's going to get the Giants' #1 defensive back. Who's that? Their cover guy?
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, is he on there?
Oh, it's the good guy for the Giants.
Oh, the good guy.
He's been
Oh,
quitting
you know,
on him the past few
uh,
weeks, and he actually showed up versus the
the
Chiefs.
Jackrabbit, Janoris Jenkins.
Yes, and he's going to be on Doxson. So, I mean, I think Crowder is poised to have a big game
Why would he be on Dotson and not Crowder?
because Doxson's the #1, right?
Well, Crowder's in the slot, too.
That's what I'm asking y'all. Who would you take?
I'm taking
No, I mean-
Crowder.
I'll
So I was
take
looking it up.
Johnson.
I'm taking Dotson.
I think it depends on if Jordan Reed plays or not. Because
I
whenever
don't think
Jordan
Jordan
Reed
Reed-
plays, whenever
Dude.
Jordan Reed plays, Crowder doesn't do well. Whenever he doesn't play, he gets a lot of receptions.
Jordan Reed, just go ahead and just count him down and out for the rest of the season, okay? Vernon Davis is outshining him. Vernon Davis looks good. He's doing well enough. Jordan. Anybody that has Jordan Reed, like me in one of my fantasy leagues, I just went ahead and just said, you know what, buddy, hit the bricks. We're getting somebody else.
It also should be noted that Terrell Pryor, RIP.
Yeah, the IR, baby.
Later.
Hey, and here's
Yeah, he's
something also.
gone.
Marshawn Lattimore was on Josh Doxson, and he put up most of his 4 catches for 81 yards once Lattimore left the game.
Yeah.
I think Crowder has the better floor. Doxson has the better ceiling.
Yes. Well, ceiling. I mean, his highest point total this year has been 13. 1 catch, 50 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, well,
week
tell me what
versus Oakland, but
like Crowder hasn't scored yet this year.
no, he hasn't. But he's still had a game of over 100 yards, and I mean,
One game.
he's like 6-7 point average. I mean, they're both the same player, pretty much. I'm not like
Well, I think things are a little bit more are a
that's
bit
just
clearer
false.
now because Terrell Pryor isn't there. So I think there's a little bit more clarity as to the receiving options that Kirk Cousins is going to be throwing at here. So a little less crowded. So I think either one has a chance of.
Hey, look who they're playing this week.
the
The
Giants.
Giants.
Thursday night game.
I know the trend was broken this past week with Kelsey, but does Davis or Reed, if he decides to fucking grow a pair?
Both of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they both might be viable. I mean, Davis, you're obviously starting him if Reed's hurt, and I'm probably starting him if he's healthy too, because he will get hurt during the game at some point.
Yeah, it seems like Reed will come in for like 2 or 3 series, and then just you won't see him for the rest of the game. So
I'm gonna say Reed doesn't play this week just because it's a short week for him. Why not just sit him and make sure he comes back next week? The way Davis has been playing.
Yeah, so he didn't even take practice in practice Tuesday. Did take part in practice Tuesday.
Okay, so who was on what there? I had Dotson. Britt had Crowder.
Yeah, I got Crowder.
If Reed plays, I'm going Doxson. If he doesn't, I'm going Crowder.
And Ethan, you were abstaining.
I'd prefer to abstain, yes. But if put a gun,
Make
put a gun
a decision.
It's the Rook. Give me the Rook.
He was a rookie
Going
last year.
Doxson. Oh, called out.
Dotson.
He was just hurt all last year. All right, let's go to our last segment. We have the waiver wire.
Oh shit! I don't have the waiver wire drop.
We had a drop
but,
for that.
Waiver claims.
I mean, I gotta change it at some point.
God dang.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claim.
All right, first guy on this list. He is a must-add if he is still available in your league, and that is Samaje Perine. Chris Thompson going out for – is he out for – yeah, he broke his leg. He's out for the year.
Yeah, he's
Keep going.
Samaje Perine is going to get the
Game over.
Oh,
game over for
God.
Chris Thompson.
What are we gonna do now?
Samaje Perine going to get the bulk load there. I wrote down Byron Marshall also just because he's the number 2, but look for Samaje Perine to be the lead back when it comes to rushing and the lead receiving back too. So if he's available, you have to pick him up. No choice.
Handpicked by Mr. Gruden himself.
I think he is available in our league, right? Or does someone have him?
No, I think someone snagged him. I mean, if you have the number 1 waiver claim, if you're still doing that, you're picking him up.
What do you mean if you're still doing that, Matt?
We've been through this many times. I know the listeners aren't caught up with it, but switch to auction waivers.
Yeah, we're a little old school in our league.
Don't listen to him.
No, listen to us. Switch to auction waivers. Yeah, just do it. And pick up Perine if you're not doing
Pick
auction
up
waivers.
Perine.
Yeah, if he's available,
Put
pick him up.
$2 on him.
Pick him up.
Is Samaje Perine a top 15 running back moving forward the rest of the season?
Yes.
I would
Can I tell
say
you after this week?
No. Tell me now.
No, he's not.
he's not.
You don't-
But you're not going to get too many more guys from here on out off the waiver wire that are going to get the kind of volume that he is supposed to get. So, with that said, if you're doing, free agent, fantasy bucks, whatever it is, if you
Use
got
it
the
all.
number 1 waiver spot, just blow it. Just blow your load. Blow your load.
Below
Doing
it.
this. Just
I mean, he's the number 1 running back in a good offense. I don't understand. I couldn't name you
A
14.
number 1 unchallenged running back.
Yes,
Exactly.
He had 21 carries before and put up 67 yards, and then 19 for 49. Like he hasn't been. That was obviously his best week.
He's gonna fumble the ball. He's not gonna catch every pass that's thrown at him. He's not
How's
gonna.
how's their run defense schedule going forward, Britt? I know you got those schedules pulled up.
Yeah, I mean they got the Giants, who are 21st ranked, which isn't too bad. Then they go Dallas, who's 23rd. Chargers 29th, Arizona 11th, and then Denver 8th. So not a terrible schedule, but this Thursday night's game can tell everybody what they want to know.
I'd take him over a lot of guys right now.
We had an interesting question on, I think it was Twitter, and we all kind of were kind of stumped by it. Would you trade him for McCaffrey straight up?
To get McCaffrey?
To get
Basically, which one would you rather have going forward?
To get the McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have McCaffrey just because he's done it so far. Like, I mean,
has he done it?
P. Ryan's had one good game.
McCaffrey just seems like he's warming up and he's got a role in the offense. He's being trusted more.
He's red zone, like he's a red zone target as well.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I think he's the more talented of the two guys.
I'm taking P. Ryan, I think, in that, especially if you're in the standard.
Write that down, Matt.
Write it down.
I will.
I think we'll remember that one.
That's gonna be a number 3 at Whataburger.
I want the patty melt.
Well, P. Ryan isn't like there's no one behind him that's gonna challenge him for touches, and you have Stewart.
Still got Stewart there.
Yeah, there's been nobody behind him this whole season. Rob Kelly's been on IR.
What do you mean?
I mean,
There's Chris Thompson.
Thompson's been a beast this year.
Back. Yeah, but he's not even a feature back. Like, I mean,
they didn't have a feature back.
And you think McCaffrey's the feature back? What did McCaffrey have the last week?
No,
he had like 7 yards.
McCaffrey's an intricate part of that offense. Like they rely on him to move.
He is the running game now. That's it.
Yeah, but the only reason he was able to get those runs was because they were actually leading in a game versus Saints. Like I don't know,
but it's just a different situation now. Those guys are gone.
I don't know. I don't trust Washington.
Whose offense is better, Redskins or Panthers?
Panthers a little bit.
What?
It's not much.
Who's Cam showing up?
Hold on, Greg Olson's coming back too. So
okay, that's just gonna hurt McCaffrey. Then.
Taking targets away from McCaffrey.
No, not necessarily because Jonathan Stewart's been awful. That was McCaffrey's like one of it.
Was that 1 or 2 weeks ago where he put over 100 yards rushing?
I'm just saying, like McCaffrey's
that was last week when McCaffrey got like 14 yards.
You're just not getting what we're saying is that it's only P. Ryan now. That's it.
No. I understand that. It's only Brett Hundley in Green Bay, and I'm not playing him.
That is not
like your argument is terrible.
I mean, I'm just.
Well, it's only Tom Savage in Houston. Yeah.
Hey, Jamal Williams or Samaje P. Ryan? Who you want?
Samaje
they're both garbage.
No, Redskins are a good offense. Packers are garbage.
Look, I'm not fucking with him, okay?
Oh, good.
Damn it, Britt.
We're at the fight over here.
Who wants to go?
I just don't think you got. You just didn't get the question, okay?
Moving on.
I got the question. McCaffrey's been reliable. I'm gonna stand up for my boy, okay? I'm not gonna let
you. Your boy, but he hasn't been that reliable.
He's had one good week.
McCaffrey's
one good week when he was the guy.
Oh, he was the guy? Oh, hold on. He was the guy.
Pull up your stats.
He was the guy in week 2 and 3 when he had 20 carries.
When Chris Thompson was playing.
60 yards and 49. No, it doesn't matter. He had 20 carries.
Now he's going to have 25 carries and 10 receptions.
Jesus Christ. Whatever.
5 more carries.
Yeah, give me a week when McCaffrey got 20 carries. I'll wait.
Exactly.
You
and
have to go back to fucking
points.
College days.
Just saying.
Let's move on.
McCaffrey's game script proof. That's all I'm
obviously,
saying.
Oh, God, now I got to drink again.
Agree to disagree. Game script.
Oh, gosh. All right, moving on.
P. Ryan's already hurt. got a finger.
Move on.
Okay, so past 2 weeks, Kenyon Drake was the Dolphin that everybody was rushing to get. So basically, Kenyon Drake is probably picked up in everybody's league, but Damian Williams with the big week this week. So, I mean, who are you liking going forward there more now? Williams or Drake? You still like Drake better?
Drake is the better pure runner by far. Williams, for whatever reason, the coach in the Dolphins loves that guy. I guess I hear he's more of a complete back. I haven't seen enough to really judge one way or the other. But if I were gonna have one of the two, it'd be Williams.
If you're starting either of these guys, you shouldn't even be listening to this podcast. 'Cause
No.
You're probably not going to start, or you're not going to play in the playoffs. So, sorry to dash your dreams.
Well, what if they're trying to win consolation, Britt?
No one tries to win consolation.
Hey, some people don't want to have
Some
to
people
take
got
glamour
prizes
shots.
for consolation.
Yeah, I guess.
Some people don't want to end up in last place and have to get glamour shots.
Hey, no shame in my game, obviously. No one ever holds up to those fantasy last place punishments.
That's just not true. I've
What
seen
do you mean?
tattoos of people.
Whoever loses this year for us is wearing a dress to the bar.
All right. How much
hope
you want to
it's kit
bet
line.
that doesn't happen? Where are we going to find a dress that big?
Yeah, this backfield's a timeshare, and I think they admit it's a timeshare. So I'm not trusting either one of them. If I had to, I'd go Drake. Still,
I think. Yeah, I mean,
Williams worth the pickup though.
yeah.
I don't like either. Man,
If you're in the playoffs, you're not starting him.
I have Drake right now, and I might be forced to play him, right? But it's not very promising when Williams is out there. The lesser of the two backs, and he totally outshined Drake. I know, and just gets more opportunities than Drake, which it's rough right now for me.
I think Williams had 10 carries, if I'm not mistaken, but he had 78 yards total, and 69 of them were on one play. So he's not a good running back.
He's not, but they're giving him the first shot, which, yeah. If you're a Drake owner and you're caught in this position, you don't like seeing that. You don't like seeing that.
Oh, here's the next one. Oh, son of a bitch.
I think we spent way too much time talking about Dolphins running back.
We did.
All right, let's go to Devontae Booker. That Denver offense is horrendous, and Devontae Booker was on the field a lot this week. C.J. Anderson has been terrible. Jamal Charles has been terrible. Devontae Booker worth a pickup at all, if I could talk?
Possibly. I mean, they just replaced their offensive coordinator, right, in Denver? I think their offensive coordinator got fired. I don't know.
Paxton Lynch is starting this week.
Yeah, golly.
I mean, speaking of dumpster fires.
Yeah, 100%. Like at the beginning of the year, I was all on the C.J. Anderson train, and then Denver, and then Trevor Siemian was a top 5 fantasy quarterback for 3 weeks.
Would you rather be
And
the
then that
Texans
went
or the
down the
Broncos?
Broncos. They won a Super Bowl like 3 years ago.
I'm talking about now, Britt.
Oh,
Deshaun Watson, a.k.a. the baby goat.
Texans.
hey, old Eli Manning to the Denver Broncos trade rumors.
There he is. Eli
Following
Manning.
brother's footsteps.
Hey, man.
For what? One last hurrah?
Where they can hop on the Kirk Cousins Express.
I mean, anything's better than the Brock Lobster.
Oh, if Jacksonville could just get a quarterback, man, they'd be fucking unstoppable.
Tyrod to the Browns.
Where is this going right now?
Yeah, we're talking about
I don't
Devontae, I guess.
Yeah, we're on
Devontae
Waiver.
Booker.
I'm not picking him up. I'm not
331
spending any
guy.
money on him. Yeah, not at all. Next guy. Who's up?
331.
Okay, Alfred Morris looked pretty good on Sunday, but will we see Rod Smith be integrated even more into the offense? I think he had 8 or 9 carries. Rod Smith, work at the pickup.
Golly.
I know you like
mean,
him, Britt.
I do like him, and I feel like he is the running back. Has the most running back potential there, but right now it's Alfred Morris's job. There's no sense in picking up Rod Smith.
Britt's a big time Rod guy.
It's
He
just
loves the Rod.
no. It's
He
just
loves
I
the
take in
Rod.
all the factors. Like Alfred Morris is like 30 years old. He's going out of the league. Rod Smith is a young guy coming in. Dak's a young guy. Like he can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is something Alfred Morris can't do that well. So I just felt like he was the better play.
Give me Zeke or give me death.
Yeah, or give
Now,
me Emmitt
Morris-
Smith.
Morris looked good against the Eagles, who are pretty tough, so I don't think you're picking up Rod Smith here. I think it's Morris
No.
going forward.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's pretty much it. And if Morris gets hurt, then you might pick him up. But
I mean, are we still on running backs?
Yes, Rod Smith is a running back.
he is a running back.
Corey Clement. I mean, God, 2
Britt, I
weeks
still
in a
got
row.
half a list yet.
Dude, you have too many pickups. We need like 5.
We've only talked about 5
Come
guys.
on.
What do you mean? So you say I need more or less guys, and you're going to add guys to the list?
Devontae Booker not fucking with him.
Okay, can I move on?
Let's go. Let's go.
Proceed.
All right, coming off the bye week, Marlon Mack, you think they're going to integrate him more into the offense after the bye week?
Yes.
Frank Gore's done.
No.
Yeah, no, here's another guy. Don't need him on that list. Don't have him.
I think they
All
should.
right, Danny Woodhead back from injury. They eased him into the offense a little bit.
Now we're talking.
Play him this week, drop him after.
No, I mean, I think Woodhead's the guy
Drop him
going forward.
after. Why drop him after?
I mean, they're playing the Texans this week, so start them all.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but I mean,
I
then
don't-
they
I
go,
just don't- other
then
than
they go,
that,
hold
I
on,
don't-
hold on. They go Detroit, at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, both divisional games, and then Week 16 is at Indianapolis at home. Like, if Baltimore's going to make a push, it's going to be behind Woodhead.
I really don't like anything that has to do with Baltimore. Danny Woodhead is. I'm not going to be
But they
surprised
brought him in
if
for
he
a
gets
reason,
injured
though.
before the end of the season again.
I won't be surprised at that either. But I'm saying this offense could turn it all around with Woodhead. Like, he is that impactful.
You think so?
Baltimore's
really-
making the playoffs.
Well, unless
Put it on the
Texans overtake him.
Baltimore.
Baltimore
Only
made the
half game
playoffs.
behind.
I mean, look, their next 5 game, Houston, Detroit, both winnable. At Pittsburgh, okay, and then at Cleveland, Indianapolis.
I think that's more of a statement as to how
That's 4-1 right
horrible the AFC is this year, more than anything.
True.
Titans
Woodhead,
and Jaguars
if
are
he's available,
both going to
pick
make
him
the playoffs.
Garbage.
I think you're overrating Woodhead. He's not winning your league for you. He's like a
Yeah.
flex play at best.
You're
But what
acting
are we
like he's
looking for
David
on the-
Johnson.
Hold on, what are we looking for on the waivers right now? Like, this is week 12.
P.
Like, you're
Ryan.
not going to find a guy who can win you. God, I need to
Matt.
record this.
Matt, Pirine is garbage. Didn't you listen?
Oh yeah, I
to
forgot. I forgot P Ryan's bad. I'd rather have
Yeah, he
Woodhead over
had
P
one
Ryan.
good game, and everybody's all over his nuts.
Next.
I can't get over that.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler had another good week behind Melvin Gordon for the Chargers. He going to keep it up going forward?
He's just one injury
fact that
away
you're
from
laughing.
being a stud.
No, I'm laughing looking at fucking Britt's dumbass over here in the screen.
I must have missed that.
We can't hear what you're saying, Britt.
I know that, Faggle. God, these screens are bright as hell in here.
Yeah, why have you had your
No.
sunglasses on for the past hour and a half?
Because I've been
Go-
watching a lot of that 70s show, and I want to be like Hyde.
Okay.
Going back to Eckler though, not picking him up.
If I have Melvin Gordon, I'm snagging him. If I don't, not.
Question:
really
would you be like Derek and drop Alshon Jeffrey for Austin Eckler?
Derek is a class 1 retard.
Hey, that retard needs to win for you this week, Britt. So
Hey,
That's
and
true.
retards sometimes go full retard.
he could
Never go full retard.
Could go full retard.
I agree
He did go
with
full
Britt, though.
retard.
Back to Eckler though. You're only picking.
I'm gonna
up
have
if
another
Gordon.
shout out for Derek later once we finish, so we'll stay tuned.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Derek's getting a
last
lot of
running back.
run lately. For in our past 2 weeks of podcasts.
Not a good run.
Not in a
Take
good
it
way, yeah.
Last running back I have is J.D. McKissick. Like we said earlier, he's kind of the last guy standing. It's down to him and Eddie Lacy up there, and God knows they don't want to give Eddie Lacy the ball anymore. So J.D. McKissick, how do we feel about him? And a high-powered offense.
In a
Yeah, bro,
PPR league, I'm definitely adding him. Non-PPR, maybe wait another week. Even though
He's
a
got some
juicy
jets.
matchup.
He's got some jets, but I mean, no, you can't fool yourself into thinking that anything's going to happen.
Hey, playing the San Francisco's 32nd ranked run defense versus running backs, so they've given up double-digit points to running backs every single week this year.
Yeah, Seattle
So
can't
maybe
run the ball.
play Lacy.
I'm playing McKissick.
Beast mode.
I agree with Britt. You're picking up McKissick if it's a PPR league because the only way Seattle's going to win now is if they throw the ball because their defense isn't that great anymore.
Yeah, and I mean Russell Wilson's their leading rusher. Like,
Yeah, it's just time to ball out.
stick a fork in him.
All right, let's
McKissick
go to
played-
wide receiver.
I just want
Oh, wait.
McKissick played 50 of 74 snaps, so he was out there most of the time. pick him up if you have a spot available.
And that was even with Mike Davis carrying the ball for most of the game. So,
Pick him up.
all right, receivers. We talked about him a lot earlier, but he's probably still available in your league, and that's Josh Dotson. Seems to be Kirk Cousins' maybe favorite target going forward. So if he's available, he's a wide receiver that's definitely going to be getting some targets the rest of the season.
Yeah,
With
with
Terrell
Terrell
Pryor
Pryor, yes, going on the IR. Pick him up if he's available. You don't have to play him, stash him, but pick him.
No, he's a good bench guy that I have just in case.
Yeah.
He was making some crazy ass catches too. Like some of those catches you're making. I think some of them didn't count either, but they're pretty nuts. Like he's got the talent for sure.
DeAndre Hopkins is the king of crazy catches that don't count.
That's true. Those
makes
toe
some
taps where
unbelievable
one
out-of-bounds
toe
catches.
hits the line.
I don't know if you remember a few years ago. I think it was his rookie year. Maybe he caught that pass in New York, one-handed, like just palmed it.
Oh yeah.
But we had a penalty and the play didn't count, but it was pretty dirty.
It was the next Odell catch, but it wasn't because it didn't count.
But it didn't count
Yeah.
because we probably held or did something stupid.
Yeah.
All right, next guy, Robert Woods,
Little shift.
is going to be on the shelf for a while. So I had my choice here of who I wanted to write down, and I chose Cooper Kupp over Sammy Watkins. Do we agree with that choice?
He's the safe play.
Yeah, especially in
Watkins does the
PPR.
high end.
Especially in PPR.
I agree, but I don't think I'm picking him up.
I mean, they got to throw to somebody, right?
Yeah, Woods might actually Hey, nice back, Austin. Woods being out might actually hurt him because they can't stretch the field. Like Woods is fast, so he's going to stretch the field.
Watkins is faster though. He can stretch the field also.
Watkins is also
not
garbage.
faster.
I'm not saying he's not garbage.
Wait,
I think Watkins
Watkins is faster.
Than Woods?
100%.
Pretty fast. Austin.
Well, go put your shirt on.
Yeah, get that homeless man out
Go
of your
eat
house.
something. Tell him to go eat
Yeah,
something.
he
Watkins
snuck in
is
here off
faster
the
than Woods?
streets. I think so.
Oh, 100%. Dude, Watkins is like a burner.
Let's find out.
Look it up.
Look at this
All right.
creep.
On to the next one.
Look at this creep.
Pick up Cooper Kupp.
We're losing viewers by the second.
Yeah.
All right, Cooper Kupp over Sammy Watkins and Pharaoh Cooper and Tavon Austin and all those other retards.
Yeah, I agreed.
All right, let's go to if Matt Moore plays, which still think they're starting Jay Cutler for some reason, but if Matt Moore plays, Kenny Stills is a must-own because as soon as Matt Moore came in that game on Sunday, Kenny Stills lit up.
Dollar stills, y'all. Dollar stills.
Anytime that Matt Moore is the QB, Kenny Stills hits his final form and is automatically a wide receiver one.
Super
I got
saiyan.
an interesting
Don't
little
question
stat for
it.
you.
Just look at the stats.
Yeah, Kenny Stills is the 16th ranked wide receiver this year.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
Yes.
Really?
In
Look
standard.
at the
And
game.
he is only 27% owned in ESPN standard leagues.
What kind of points did he put up last week with like half a game of Matt Moore?
Yeah, 27 points.
27 points. He had like what a TD, like 180 yards, something stupid. I mean, I'm telling you,
Stills have a bromance.
I've been saying that for like the past bromance in Miami.
Yeah, but the thing
Moore
is, like,
Stills
you don't know
bromance.
when they're gonna pull Cutler and put Moore in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we know Moore is playing, then starting Kenny Stills.
Yeah, I mean,
Kenny Dollar Stills.
there may be a point in the season where the Dolphins go, "Hey Jay, you know what? We're gonna give you the option to just kind of chill out, not get hurt anymore, so you can rest up and get ready to go into the booth next season. We're gonna play Matt Moore." Kenny Stills becomes the number 3 wide receiver in the league. You know what I mean? Like, there's a scenario where that could play out.
Like, this wide receiving core is not that bad in Miami.
No, it's not.
Like, Devontae Parker, Jarvis Landry, and Kenny Stills, like, give that to Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
Oh, disgusting.
Give it to Tom Savage.
Yeah,
Next.
why Matt Moore isn't playing is
Yeah, that's
the same question why Peterman is starting over Tyrod.
He had that one horrible game in Baltimore. It was almost
Yeah.
like they set him up. It was a setup, right?
And Kenny Stills
Right.
still had 5 catches for 65 yards.
Yeah. Like, that's his floor with Matt Moore, you know?
Next guy, he's had a touchdown, I think, in 2 or 3 straight weeks. Mike Wallace of the Baltimore Ravens had a sick touchdown catch on Sunday. What do we think about? He's playing the Texans this week, so
Pick him up.
He is a
I'm not
burner.
totally buying in. I think Jeremy Macklin's still the number one there, but that's just my opinion on that.
I think
still
that
have Macklin.
yeah, Macklin and and Wallace both just play him. Play him if you got one or the other. Play him against the Texans. Enjoy.
I'm not picking him up, but Texans do struggle against those guys that stretch the field.
Against wide receivers.
They struggle against wide receivers.
Godly, the past
True.
4 weeks they've given up over 1,000 yards receiving and 7 receiving touchdowns.
Stellar.
Isn't that pretty standard though?
Big. Do what now?
If you go 4 games, that's only 250 yards a game to receivers. I mean, if a QB throws 300 yards or so, you figure most times going to receivers.
Hold on.
Nah, man. McCaffrey's better than P-Ryan. Let's move on.
Oh yeah, that's where. It
Oh Lord.
I wouldn't pick up my ball.
He is back from injury these last 2 weeks, and he's taken some targets away. But Kenny Golladay, he was the early season sensation. I think he's had about 60 yards the last couple weeks, taking targets away from Golden Tate and Marvin Jones. Do we read anything into Kenny Golladay or nah?
No. Welcome
I'm not
back
fucking with
and
him.
see you later.
A third read or fourth read in a spread offense.
All right, next guy is Britt's boy, Corey Coleman. Had a good first week back. Britt, you picking him up?
He's the only wide receiver option in Cleveland right now. I mean, Josh Gordon's coming back next week, but I think he had 6 catches for 80 yards on 8 targets.
11 targets. I saw.
So are you picking him up?
Yeah, I think he's worth a pickup, even though I don't trust Deshaun Kaiser. Throwing to him, that is.
What? Would you rather pick up Coleman or Stills?
Who's starting for Miami?
Jay Cutler.
Coleman.
So it depends on who's starting.
Exactly.
Okay. Just a question. But
All right, next guy is the Redskins' third wide receiver, and he had a touchdown on Sunday. Been solid these last few weeks. Ryan Grant. Is he still number 3 option behind Dotson and Crowder?
Yeah. I think we probably all agree with that.
You said number 3.
Well, yeah, but
You said it.
He's like Martavis Bryant's number 3, and if you don't have him, then you're not picking up Grant. So
put Ryan
This
Grant
can't be right. There's
4.
not one Washington Redskins wide receiver with over 54 fantasy points.
I mean, I agree with it.
Chris Thompson was their wide receiver number 1.
Yeah.
Wait, Ryan Grant has the most points on their team for wide receivers. Holy shit.
So who's the
He's
biatch
beating
now?
Josh Doxson and Jamison Crowder.
I
mean,
still wouldn't
that
pick him
should
up, though.
Tell you something. I don't. No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right, let's go to what did I have?
Damie Amendola.
Danny Amendola had a big week this last week, but Chris Hogan should be returning from injury this week. So do we like Danny Amendola, or is he just going to be thrown to the side once Chris Hogan gets back and it's back to Hogan and Cooks and Gronk?
I think Amendola is viable just because I think Hogan and Cooks going forward, it's going to be one of them going off. So
Matt does not agree. I can see Matt shaking his head back there.
Okay,
I
go ahead,
don't.
Matt.
He's gotten a 50% snap share this entire year. You're not taking that. And plus, you got Hogan coming back.
Hopefully.
You got Hogan, Cooks, Amendola, Gronk. Who else is out there? James White.
Lewis, White, Burkhead,
You got all these guys that need points.
Martellus Bennett,
Gillisley, healthy scratch.
Dwayne Allen.
It's just too many people, and Amendola is too far down the list for me to pick up. I'm not.
I
I'm
didn't
not
say
picking
I'd
him.
give him up. I just said he's viable.
Well, by
Viable for what? Yeah, viable for being
Viable
on
to
free
watch
agency.
on the waiver wire?
Viable in 16-team
PPR leagues.
Okay, yeah. He's worth the pickup, I guess.
All right. Is there anybody else we got left? Who's
Yes,
actually
we're saving the
worth picking
best
up?
for last.
All right, let's hear it.
He has been an integral part in the Texans offense this season. We have Bruce Ellington.
I thought you said we had someone.
Woo!
I'd rather pick up his cousin, who just got picked up by the Texans.
No, I'm not picking up Andre Ellington. That sounds a terrible idea.
I just wanted to show off that I knew they were cousins.
But Bruce Ellington is getting some catches. He's the guy that's coming in motion every play, doing some weird shit that doesn't work with Tom Savage, but they keep running it anyways. But I mean, he's on the field pretty much every play, so not the worst pickup.
The only player I'm playing on the Texans this week is DeAndre Hopkins.
You're not playing Lamar Miller?
Lamar Miller?
With Foreman out?
Versus the Ravens D at Baltimore? I don't know. Hasn't been very friendly to Houston going to Baltimore.
You're not playing Savage?
Jacoby Jones.
Next wide receiver.
R.I.P.
We're done.
That was the last wide receiver. You got any more?
Fantasy Nerd joins in late saying, yo, what's up, Fantasy Nerd?
Yeah,
What's
man.
up?
Fantasy Nerd, where you been, man?
Martavius Bryant, pick him up. Especially if Juju's going to be hurt.
Martavis blows.
It does it for the waiver wire, right?
Yeah, that's all we got on the waiver wire. So we're going to end I forgot to say earlier, but if you're listening, send us in some questions. A little late now, but if you can get one in the next 5 minutes or so. But we're going to be
joined by Fantasy Nerd.
Yeah, thank you, Fantasy Nerd. Loyal listener. Thanksgiving is this week, so let's end this with what we're thankful for this fantasy season. So I'm going to go first. First guy I'm thankful for is Todd Gurley. Thank you for being the #1 running back this year and for carrying my team in the Rams offense. I'm going to say thank you to DeAndre Hopkins for being the #1 wide receiver on my team and still putting up points with trash Tom Savage throwing you the ball.
Wait, you only get one that you're thankful for.
No,
right?
I can thank
so
whoever I
Todd
want.
Gurley.
No. And then lastly, I'm going to thank Derek Dartez again for dropping out Sean Jeffrey and letting me pick him up to solidify my playoff team. So thanks, Derek. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
your playoff team has lost how many in a row?
Britt, I hope to God I play you in the playoffs. That's going to be the easiest game I've ever
I
played.
want you to play Turpin. Stop
All right,
looking over for Turpin to get some recognition, okay?
He's not even in
He
here.
doesn't give
I'm
a
watching the
shit.
basketball game.
I know he's over there with his Jergens.
Ethan, let's hear some thanks. Thanksgiving's this week. Who you got?
Oh, okay. I mean, if I had to be thankful for anybody, it's Alvin Kamara. Thanks for keeping
nice.
the team afloat somewhat as we make this.
Wait, why is he having to keep the team afloat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's the only thing that's keeping it together, man. Without him, I'd be lost. So, hopefully, we can get some other things put together here and make it to the championship game where Zeke will be awaiting for us it's going to be a Cinderella finish.
Zeke will ascend down on a cloud.
Other than
Fantasy
that,
Fantasy Nerd kind of agrees with you. He's thankful for Mark Ingram, who can be tied to Alvin Kamara, and thankful for Adrian Peterson getting traded because.
So basically, you're thankful for the Saints.
Yes, thank you for this. Yes, thankful for the Saints. Yes. A healthy Gronk, unbelievable. Gronk's been relatively healthy all year, so thanks for staying healthy, Gronk. Even though you've been a little quiet the past week. Man, other than that, on a serious note, I'm thankful for having my family and having everything that God's blessed me with and my sobriety, and I'm looking forward to some turkey, bro.
Been a good year.
Amen to
Hell
that.
yeah!
All right, Britt, let's hear some thanks. What you got?
I'm thankful for Jags defense. They've
Yeah,
been there for
you
me
better
the whole
be.
year.
They are a beast.
I play them every week. And yeah, I mean, and it's not even, I mean, I'm not trying to jinx them or anything, but they have Arizona, Indianapolis, and then they go Seattle, whatever. Then they go Houston and San Francisco. So if I can just make it, they can carry me.
Yeah, they can. That's looking like some close to 30 burgers every week there.
Unfortunately.
Matt, what you got? Thanks.
I mean, I gotta thank my boy Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Number one QB
Number
there.
one QB overall. I don't think he gets the praise he deserves. I was kind of shocked when I saw him number 1 overall, but he is the Seattle Seahawks offense right now. And I will hop on the thanks wagon with Ethan over there and thank Alvin Kamara and whoever dropped him in our league.
Didn't I have Russell Wilson as the number 1 quarterback?
That's me looking at you, Britt.
Oh, my bad.
I think you just made that up, Britt.
What?
Yeah, I think you just made that up too.
No, I had Russell Wilson, and then I had Tom Brady, and then I had Carson Wentz, Alex Smith, and Kirk Cousins. I think that was my top 5.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Top 5 right now.
Oh my
Wow, it's so you're such a prophet.
You were the only one that didn't have Deshaun in there. That's crazy.
It's almost
It
like
is.
you're a time traveler.
It is.
All right, so I'm gonna end it on
Well,
another
actually,
serious
can I
note.
can I take over real quick?
Ruining my moment there.
Well, I want the serious note to end. Be the end. We just have a couple questions. Fantasy nerd, Funchess, Samaje Perine, Devontae Parker. Which one for flex?
P-Run.
Yeah, you're on.
I also agree, Perine.
P-Run, Funchess, Parker.
I like Parker, though.
There you go.
I think Ryan's got the right order.
We're going Perine. And also, I have to do one more thing before we end. I promised Izzy, who is a bartender, that I would give her a shout out in the podcast because I was unable to tip her because I didn't have any cash on me and she didn't charge me for my drink. So shout out to Izzy.
Oh my God, Matt. The Cardinals sin.
Does she even listen?
She
You
will,
understand how
maybe.
these people make a living, right?
Listen, if she wanted a tip, she'd charge me. I told her that, and she just said, give me a shout out on the podcast. So everyone shout her out. Thanks, Izzy.
Thanks, Izzy.
There you go.
Thanks, Izzy.
On to you, Ryan.
Contributing to this delinquency.
All right, so I'm going to end it with thankful for you guys, man. Thankful for you guys. Been a fun season doing this so far. I know we're just kind of getting going with this, but this is what, our 10th episode or so. So it's been fun. I look forward to every Tuesday night getting to talk fantasy with you guys. Hopefully y'all feel the same way.
Right
So on
back
that
at
note,
you.
if you're listening, happy Thanksgiving. Happy playoff push. Hopefully you can make it. Britt and Matt, hopefully it works out for both of y'all and y'all both make the playoffs.
Oh,
I know one of
Yeah,
y'all might
fuck
not.
Turpin.
Yeah, fuck Turpin. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. And good luck to everybody this week. Hope everybody listening makes the playoffs.
Lord of
Follow
light.
us on YouTube, iTunes, Twitter, Instagram.
Everything.
Stay
iTunes,
safe.
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe. Do it
Spend
now.
some time with your family.
Hey, you tell
We-
Turpin the night is dark and full of terror.
We out.
Rack 'em.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
You stupid. You stupid. What's 9 plus 10? 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 You stupid. You stupid. You stupid. You stupid. You stupid.